Bart.
Oh, hey, Mark. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good, thanks.
What you doing there?
Oh, just autographing some pictures of my playing days. You know what? It's for you.
Wow. All my best. Always Bart. Just Bart? No last name?
Yeah, just Bart. Like Sting,
Oh, Bono?
Sade,
Madonna?
Cher,
Prince?
Beyonce.
Jackie?
Who? Well, I guess you do have some autographs. Nothing like starting off with the fanciest, huh?
Well, I thought we could start off with a bang. We got Ty Cobb.
Wow,
below.
Look at that.
I mounted all of these autographs with a photo that I thought best depicted the player. And on this one, I like the horizontal format of the autograph with Ty Cobb sliding, because he was so notorious for sharpening his cleats and going in with his cleats high that I thought just a picture of him sliding would be the way to go for this one.
That's a great choice. What a classic shot, huh?
Classic shot, classic autograph. It's one of my very favorites.
How'd you get these autographs?
Most of them have come from auction houses, some off eBay, and a lot from private sales, and some through trade. So really those would be the four major ways that I've acquired them.
Obviously all of them authenticated.
Yeah, all of them authenticated, or for the ones that are more common, I don't really need the authentication. I can tell the difference myself.
Very cool. Love that.
Yeah, Ty Cobb sliding. What a classic baseball image.
Go Tigers. So that's a St. Louis Brown, I'm guessing?
That is a St. Louis Brown. He was also a Boston Brave.
George Sisler. I know who he is because you know what an Ichiro fan I am.
Yes, he is the one who had the long-standing record for the number of hits in a season.
That Ichiro broke.
Ichiro broke it convincingly. I liked this one not only because of the image and the fact that he is just a badass.
No kidding.
Look at that smirk. George Sisler was a great player, very underrated, and there aren't a lot of baseball cards of him, so collectors tend to forget about him. He didn't have a tobacco card or a 33 Gowdy or any of those iconic sets. So he's kind of a forgotten man, but just a great all-time Hall of Famer. And I liked this example because it's on his personal index card. It says George H. Sisler, all-time great first baseman, Hall of Fame, 1939.
Well, apparently somebody's full of themselves.
Yes, modest I guess he wasn't, but he did have a classic signature, and he penned a perfect autograph on this one.
And I've told you I was at the game where Ichiro broke his record, and then he went over and saw his daughter was in the stands, and he went over and greeted her after it. It was a really cool moment.
Yeah, that was a very classy gesture.
Ichiro is a very classy guy. After he broke his record that season, he went to visit George Sisler's grave.
Oh, did he really?
To pay respects. I love that he's that respectful of the game.
Yeah, Ichiro is a true man of character and is just a good person, good role model.
Right. And George Sisler.
There he is.
So I recognize this name only because of the card reveal episode that we did, and that's Pie Traynor again.
Yes, Pie Traynor, all-time great third baseman. It's a nice shot of him, a full body shot with that gigantic patch on his left sleeve. Really a great Hall of Famer that, again, kind of like Sisler, has been a little bit forgotten to time. And on this one, he signed it with best regards, Pie Traynor. So I kind of liked the added inscription there.
He's got the Bart Smith kind of flair.
And with a name like Pie, he could have just signed Pie without the last name and you'd still know who he was.
And like Prince's symbol, he could have just done a pie symbol.
Yes, the baseball player formerly known as
Pie.
Pie.
Wow, love the sweater. Who's this dude?
This is Chief Bender of the Philadelphia Athletics.
Chief Bender? I went on a Chief Bender in New York in the 80s, I remember. But that's a cool shot, huh? He's got the whole Philly thing going with the pillbox hat and the elephant and the whole thing.
Yeah, you get the white elephant and the old thick sweater that they wore. Boy, was he a magnificent Hall of Fame pitcher for Philadelphia.
Why don't they do that anymore with the sweaters? Those are so cool.
I know, they should bring him back, but I guess it's a cost thing. It's probably a lot more expensive.
You can't pay someone $750 million and say we can't afford a sweater.
Good point. But look at that image with the pillbox hat, as you said, and the white elephant. It just doesn't get any better. And his look of determination is just something else. Look at that steely stare that he...
So was he Native American?
He was one of the very first Native American players in Major League Baseball, along with Zach Wheat, who's also in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And Chief Myers, who was a catcher for the New York Giants.
Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe, yes, you got it. He played for the New York Giants briefly in the early teens. So just a historic and legendary pitcher with a great, bold autograph.
Never heard of him, and that's really cool.
Yeah, he usually signed just Chief Bender, but on this one he signed Chief, in quotes, C.A. Bender, which is a less common variation of his signature. It's a beauty.
The Beast.
There he is, Jimmy Fox, the legendary slugger from the Philadelphia Athletics.
Talk about a badass.
Yeah, look at that. You know, we talked about Chief Bender's steely-eyed stare, but I think Jimmy Fox has him beat.
Yeah, and even though he's built like a bull, he's got quite the graceful autograph.
Yeah, he had a real flourish to his autograph. It did change a little throughout the years, but this is a fairly early example where he put Jimmy in quotes. Again, in the scheme of things, underrated. If you look at his numbers, he's one of the baseball's all-time best, always rivaling Babe Ruth for the home run title. He was just a phenomenal player and aptly named the Beast.
Love that one. That's so good.
Yeah.
So it looks like an A. Is that a Philadelphia A?
It is. Now on this one, I probably should have picked this player in a Cleveland jersey because he was so immensely popular with Cleveland that they temporarily named the team the Naps.
Ah, like our pennant episode.
Yes.
Nap Lajoie.
Nap Lajoie, that's him. Now you'll see that he signed his name Larry Lajoie, which was typical. That's how he signed over 90% of the time.
Wonder where Nap came from.
Well, his real name, I believe, is Napoleon. So you'll see a very few signatures where he signs it either Nap Lajoie or Napoleon Lajoie. But this is the far more common iteration of his signature.
He looks like a player there, but this is way after he was popular in the 1910s, right?
Yeah, the picture is from later in his playing days, but this would have been in the late 20s, after his stint with Cleveland.
And then his autograph is from the 50s.
Yeah, it's from September 6, 1950, so it's kind of nice that we can date it to a specific day. This is a nice clean one, no skips or smudges, and just a really perfect example of his autograph.
Nap Lajoie. Classic.
Yes.
Now, I remember this autograph from the Hall of Fame Baseball, one of our very first episodes.
Yeah, what a great autograph it is, too. Look at that incredibly beautiful signature.
Mr. Eddie Collins.
Yeah, look at the flourish and the beautiful curvature of that signature.
Another Philadelphia A. There's so many great Hall of Fame Philadelphia A's. And he was, around 1900 or so? I don't know.
Yeah, he played from 1906 to 1930, so his heyday was probably in the teens and early 20s. Probably the greatest, well, the second greatest second baseman of all time behind Hornsby. And maybe you put him just a little ahead of Joe Morgan, although how do you really compare the two from such different eras, right?
Right.
And it's a great shot of Collins. Appears to be studying the pitcher. He's got his pillbox hat and his thick-handled bat. It's just a wonderful, wonderful image that I hadn't seen before of Eddie Collins.
I'd have to throw in Dustin Ackley.
Yes, he'd be in the top 5,000.
Somebody just took a rip, huh?
Yeah, it's safe to assume that that was a home run.
From?
Home Run Baker.
Home Run Baker. I heard of him.
Yeah, now this was pre-Babe Ruth, back in the days when 8 to 12 homers in the entire season would get you the home run title.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think he won the home run title with 8 one year and another year with 12, and thus the nickname Home Run Baker.
So what year was he about?
He played primarily in the teens and made it into the 20s.
Love his leg extension there.
Yeah, that's why I picked this image. It really looks like, if you follow the trajectory of the ball and where his eyes are looking, it looks like he just connected with one. So
Exactly.
you want to get a picture of Home Run Baker hitting a home run, right?
Little on the nose, but yeah, you're right.
You can see he signed it "Kind regards from Frank Baker." That's how he signed. He very rarely put Home Run Baker. That was a cool nickname that he had that became quickly obsolete
Yeah.
when the Babe entered.
Well, 12 home runs might lead the Mariners this year, so who knows? Wow, I love these two images too. Look at that action shot.
Yeah, a little bit different setup here. We got Mickey Cochran, the legendary catcher for the Philadelphia A's and later the Detroit Tigers. And you might be saying, where the heck is the autograph? There's no autograph here, but if you look closely, he signed it diagonally right on the exhibit card on the right.
What's an exhibit card?
An exhibit card is not officially a baseball card in the traditional sense. They were distributed in machines. Put your money in the machine and it would dispense a card out of the vending machine, sometimes with gum, sometimes on its own.
Oh, how fun.
They were pretty popular in the 20s and 30s mostly.
And yet another Philadelphia Hall of Famer.
Yeah, we're keeping up with the Philadelphia theme here just because they had so many legendary Hall of Fame players. I love the image on this one because you got the ump who looks really intense trying to get that call right. And you got Cochran literally flying through the air to apply the tag. And you can see that he got him right in the rear end before he got to home plate.
You don't see many action shots like that from that time.
No, you don't. Most of the shots that we've been showing you are typical in the fact that they're posed. In-game action shots are very few and far between. And then the exhibit card shows him in his squat, just a classic image of Mickey Cochran. Beautifully signed, a very fine tip fountain pen signature.
So you do such a beautiful job. Did you mat these yourself?
Yeah, I bought the frames and I do the measurements for the matting and then I take them to the local frame shop with the exact measurements that I want. I never leave the piece with the framer. I'm just too afraid to do that, to entrust them to a tie cob signature.
Right, here's the measurements, make me a mat.
So I'll measure the amount of signature that I want showing and I'll have the exact measurement for them and then I'll do the same thing with the photograph. Typically, the picture is not a Type 1 photo or anything, it's just a mass-produced photo that I got off eBay or Amazon. I don't mind taping that to the back of the mat, but with the autograph, it's a lot more tricky. I did a cutout in the foam core backing, the exact size of the PSA slab.
The autograph came in a slab.
Yes, and I didn't want to take it out of the slab. The front cutout is much smaller so that you don't get all the slab, you only get the signature itself. You can leave the autograph in the slab because it's probably worth more that way and a lot of people like to collect them that way.
Right.
But this is how I do it for slabbed autographs. It's much easier if the autograph is not slabbed because I'll just put it in a top loader and I'll tape the top loader to the back of the mat. And in doing so, no tape ever touches the autograph itself.
Well, great job.
Well, thank you. It's a labor of love for sure, and it takes a little extra time, but in my opinion, it's well worth it.
Oh, totally. So mine will be this same orientation?
When I do yours, I'm going to have to put a lot of thought into it. It's going to take 2 or 3 years for me to figure that one out.